besties, welcome to another video. I took y'all in the bedroom with me today because baby, we got a juicy story. Now originally I was gonna tell another story first, but I changed my mind because I think that y'all need this story time first. So if you're new here, oh my god, welcome. Hey girl, hey. Or hey man, hey, whoever tuning in, baby, welcome to a good story time. Because baby, I've been watching people's story time, and this ain't no shade to nobody, but some people ain't good storytellers. I be so lost, they be so all over the place, and I got a couple of story times that I couldn't focus, and I was over here talking about this and that, but I always bring it back in. But some people be having you so lost in left field, I'm like, well baby, when you gonna bring it back? Because you know, sometimes your mind get to wondering, and I get it. But anyway, let's get into it. The name of this story time is called He Made Me Fall in Love, girl. Okay? Now, that's the original. That's what I got wrote down on my handy dandy notes. But baby, we might change the title. So I don't know. Y'all saw the thumbnail. So baby, anyway, let's get into it. If you're new here, I'm your girl, Barbie Dior, and I'm so happy you click play. Make sure you do all the things, like, comment, share, subscribe, and go ahead and hype this video up if you see it come across there. And also check out the descriptions because I'm either selling something or I got something new going on. So make sure you check in the description when you look in the videos. So let's get into it. He made me fall in love. Okay, now this story time will be like, I know I talked about my first love, and if you ain't seen that, go watch that. That's the innocent love, you know, that innocent love, okay? That, I feel like I'm looking down. Baby, that was so annoying. Put y'all up high, okay. Baby, I felt like I was doing that, okay? Anyway, I don't know why she acting crazy, but okay, I had to put you up. I couldn't do that the whole time. Yeah, let me tell y'all a story. No, baby, get up here with me. Either way, okay, don't embarrass me because this thing is trying to slide. Okay, that's why I like recording in the car. So I decided that I don't think that I've told y'all a story time about like my love. Okay, now, I experienced like my first boyfriend I ever had. He was Hispanic. No, let's think about it. He was Hispanic and white. Okay, so that one, my first love. That's what that's about. And then I had another, my first, I guess you could say, a boyfriend that I let. Okay, and I don't know what that story was about, but anyway. It's my first love or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look that up, but I'll run across there. But y'all make sure y'all go check all that. I do got I put all my love stories together because, you know, some people like certain genres. So I'm putting them together like playlists. It's like I got a playlist, I think, for like all my wild, crazy stories or just like random things that happened to me that was crazy. Then I got a playlist with the prison story times. And I also got like my dating life. I put that together. So whatever you interested in, you know, I kind of try to put it in those three categories. You can look at all the story times. That's what I want you to do. But for the most part, I try to put in those genres because I see that people really go for those genres. So I did it for you. So y'all need to go hit one of them playlists and watch every video on that playlist. Maybe not all today because it's just too much. Some of my story times is 20 minutes, some of them 15, and some of them is an hour and a half. So I don't know if you got the time, but if you do, baby, hit a playlist and watch all of them, okay? Especially that pure prison time series, okay? Because baby, it's juicy, okay? So this young man would be like, I guess you can say this relationship went from being a teenager and then all the way up into my adulthood. I remember talking about a story time where I talked about my baby father a little bit, and I think that story time was my baby daddy was a drug lord. So if you ain't watched that, go watch that one too. And I talked about a little bit about how I met him and everything in there. But I talked about in that story time in the beginning how I was dating somebody, but I basically told him, okay, I'm going to college now. So, you know, I kind of want to cut things off because I want to focus on school. So this is the story time of that young man, how we met. It's going to be all of that, okay? Met, together, in it, all that stuff, okay? So let's get into it. So I was working at Bojangles, and for the ones that are new here, when I was a teenager, I used to work at Bojangles for the longest time. And when I became adult, I worked there part-time for a little while, but then I was like, look, I just, it ain't for me no more. I ain't got the patience like I used to, because them bonnet bandits be coming through the drive-through with attitudes, and baby, I'm too grown not to tell grown people about themselves. Like, you can't come in, baby, they not paying me enough to deal with your attitude. Like, they'll come through the drive-through and just say crazy stuff. Like, I had the craziest situation when somebody come through the drive-through and said, can you make sure my food is hot? Cause last time it was cold and everything was hard, and it better be hot, and make sure it's fresh. Like, those terms, that's too much for me. Okay. Didn't somebody ever tell you that if somebody making your food, you supposed to act a certain way? Cause I'm making your food. All right. Okay. And I didn't have the morals that I have now, but I'm just saying, you supposed to, hey, how you doing? Okay, I like your hair today. You supposed to be nice to people that feed your food, because you don't know what you might digest, is all I'm saying. And so I got tired of dealing with them, because a lot of them came through the drive-thru and they had the nasty attitude. They'll be on the phone cussing out their baby daddy, now it's our fault. No. So I had to go find me something to do, baby. Okay, it wasn't for me. So either way, I was working at Bojangles at the time. Now, when I met, we're going to call him, what are we going to call this young man? We're going to call him Scooter. We're going to call him Scooter, okay? That's as close as I can get to his name, okay? We're going to call him Scooter. Now, Scooter was somebody that I was in love. Have you ever met somebody that you were just totally infatuated with? Like, you were just totally infatuated with, okay? Now, it's crazy how we met, so I'm gonna get into that. I'm working at Bojangles, I'm doing my thing, okay? And so I came in, I clocked in, I came, and anytime you came in, you come to a job, you go put your stuff down, okay? So if when I come in, I always will put my coat and whatever else I brought in there. I will go, there was a hook in the back that you can just hook your stuff on or whatever. And so I will put my stuff in the back, when I'm coming in. But to get to the back, you got to pass by the biscuit table. And the place, if you don't know what Bojangles is a place that sell chicken, biscuits, chicken strips, stuff like that. Mashed potatoes, gravy, string beans. They got macaroni and cheese now. They used to have buffalo bites, but they don't got them. They sell a little pork chops. They sell a little bit of everything. Every now and then they remix stuff. They sell breakfast all day. So, and I'm trying to think of what else they sell. I think I about covered everything. They sell dirty rice. They sell grilled filet. They sell a lot of stuff, okay? All chicken fried. Ain't no good for you. And they're known for their fries and their seasoning salt, okay? Because it's good, okay? It ain't good for you, but it's good going down. Either way. So, I'm working at this place. So, I'm coming in, but I'm hearing somebody sing, right? And I'm hearing somebody sing, and I'm talking about they singing real good, y'all. I'm talking about can sing, okay? Now, me, I can't sing. I just enjoy doing it, okay? So bear with me. So I'm gonna try to key on. And if you ain't picked up yet, I got a little cold. Now, my son, he had a cold, and now I got the cooties, okay? When you around somebody, now they don't got the cold, but you done got it now because he done sneezed on me enough that it took hold of me. So, okay, if we have to take some breaks in this recorder, it's because I had to go blow my nose, okay? Be patient. This break just happened. Okay, I ain't want to see y'all. Y'all ain't need to see me wash my hands, all that, but either way, we here now. Okay, I got all my little stuff. Look, it's all to the side. We ready, because I'm committed to y'all, okay? So either way, I'm hearing this song, Angela-like sound. Now, maybe I might sound like a broken cat or, but don't, just imagine somebody just singing, you coming into work and you just hearing somebody, you know what I'm saying? And he was singing, Let's Get Married. So I'm coming in and I hear somebody say, we ain't getting no younger, we might as well do it. Let's get married. And he going in. And he's like, we ain't getting no younger, no matter what. Whoa, whoa, whoa. couldn't imagine you were walking in. You were like, wait a minute now, but he was going all in. He was like, then he remixed it. He beating on the biscuit table and everything. And I'm thinking like, well, somebody is back there in they bag. Who in the world? So I come and poke my face around there like, who is that? Because we ain't got nobody here. Ain't no nobody here can say for real. I look around and this big dude, okay? Big dude. I call big dudes like big dudes. I call them teddy bears, okay? So he was a teddy bear. He was dark skinned, had a nice haircut. He looked well put together, but he was a big dude. You know what I'm saying? And me, I don't do the teddy bears, okay? I don't do the teddy bears. I like light pose, okay? I like ladders you got to climb. I like the skinty people. And ain't nothing wrong with a little fluff. You know, I like a man with a little fluff if he got a little fluff. But I just don't do the teddy bear. Because let's be honest, I can't feed him, baby. I can't feed him. You going to have to feed that man. If that's your man, he going to have to eat. I can't afford to feed him. So I don't do the teddy bears for real. But anyway, and a lot of them, they come with little straws. And I like my straw. Never mind. We going to talk about something else. You know, that's just what I heard. And I might be wrong because you might be married to somebody and say, hey Barbie, my husband is a teddy bear and he ain't got no straw, okay? He got an extension cord that's skinny and long. Or maybe not a extension cord. What's something long? Plank wood. What's something long? Elephant trunk. Maybe he got that. I don't know, girl, what he got. But I'm just saying that's the record that I heard. You know what I'm saying? They ain't blessed and highly favored. Now, I could be wrong. But that's their reputation. That's what I heard. Okay. But either way, the young man was back there killing me. So I poked my head back there. I'm like, what's up? And his name, we gonna call him Man. So, like I said, he had just started or whatever. He came from another Bojangles, but I didn't know that he had just started. And they said he'd been there all week, but I work after school, so I wouldn't even know if he was there now. So I poked my head around there. I'm like, Dad, who are that singing back there? And he was like, hey, how you doing? My name is Man or whatever. I said, oh, you got a real pretty voice. I really like your voice. Like, oh my God, you really, really doing it. He was like, yeah, it's one of my many talents or whatever. I was like, who got you singing like that? He talking about you. And I'm like, me? I was like, you don't even know me. He said, I've been seeing you a couple of days, but I don't be too shy to say something to you. But I've been seeing you around for a couple of days or whatever. What a dude got to do to take you on a date? And I'm like, nothing. Nothing, honey. I was like, well, to be honest, can I be honest with you? He was like, what? You don't like big dudes? I'm like, yeah, I can't get... Look, I ain't got nothing to do with you. You got a cute face. I really I like how your hair's doing what it do. But baby, baby, now, you know what I'm saying? I don't do them. I said, but I do know somebody that do like the big dudes. And my older sister, she like the big dudes, okay? She really like the big dudes. I said, I know I got somebody for you. He told me, so, well, you know what? Tell me what your type is. And I'm like, well, I like light skin. You know, I like the light skin. You know, I be crushing on a little light skin, a little red skin. I like a little light skin. I said, I really like men with dark features like light skin, black hair, really curly. Got a little body wave going on too. I really like that. Or a man with a ponytail or some dreads. I can work with that. I just like hair. I like some hair. Okay, I like some hair, and I want him tall and skinny. Baby, what's up? I didn't want too much, and he got to be a good man, Savannah. He got to be a good man, Savannah. He can't just be no dog. I don't do dogs with fleas, so don't be trying to hook me up with nobody because I done told you I don't date no such and such. He was like, no, I don't do that. He said, I hang with a lot of dudes. I just want to know what your type. Cause he said, I ain't no hater. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no hater. I'll hook you up with my homeboy because you too pretty to be single. And I'm like, Y'all, this camera is bothering me, y'all. It keep trying to do what it want to do. Oh, I know what it is. It's when I sit it, it's leaning back. Okay, I get it now. We gonna get it right. It was leaning back like it was on break. Baby, you're not on break. You got to sit up, baby. Sit up, okay? Either way, so you laying back, don't worry about me. You got to sit up. Okay, I'm talking to my tripod. Don't worry about it. I'm crazy. But anyway, so the young man, he just said that. He was like, oh, you described my little cousin. I said, well, how old do you think I am, baby? And he was like, you can't be no more than like 16, 17. I'm like, I'm 16. He was like, perfect. I said, perfect. He was like, yeah, because my cousin's 17. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he was like, he got somebody. Now me, when somebody say something like this, I'm not thinking of it because I'm entertaining multiple people. Now I'm not having sex with nobody, but I'm entertaining me and I'm texting, I'm talking, dudes is in my ear, you know what I'm saying? Because I give out my phone number like it was nothing back in the day. Nah, you gonna get that IG or something like that. You get my phone number if I like you and you earn it. Because people be crazy. You can't be that, have that much access to me where you could just ring and get on my nerve. No, I want you somewhere I can block. And you can block on the phone too, but baby, no. You can keep calling me back from, no, we not doing that. Either way. So he was like, well, what's your phone number or whatever? And I said, I told him what my phone number was. And so he was like, I'm going to send you a picture. And so he sent me a picture of dude. And I was like, he kind of cute though. He even fine either. He told me, I told you, man, I got you. I'm like, look, we locked in. You know what I'm saying? We really locked in now. He was like, you finna be part of the family for real. He was like, I am not no hater. I'm not no hater. And he was like, he been single for a while. And he, you know, we always be telling him, man, go ahead and get you something. But he real shy. Like, I said, so he ain't gonna be able to talk. Something wrong with him? He's slow. What's wrong with him? She was like, no, he just real shy. And everybody think because he a pretty boy that he a hoe. But he really ain't. He be chilling for real. He really be chilling. I was like, okay, well, then all right, hook it up then. So he was like, I got you. He was like, when the next time you work? So I was like, I work Friday. And so let's say this was a Wednesday. He was like, okay, bet when you work. And I was like, I work 5 to 9. So he was like, okay, bet then I'm gonna tell him to pull up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell him to pull up. Cause at the time I was working in the front taking orders. So anybody came in, I saw, he was like, do you know where you're gonna work at? I'm like, no, I don't. But most likely I'm gonna be either in the drive-thru or what's the name. He was like, okay, I work that day too. He was like, I get off at 10 o'clock. So he was like, I'm gonna see where you at, and I'm gonna text him where you at or whatever, and he gonna come in here and say something to you. So I ain't thinking nothing of it. So Friday came, you know what I'm saying? But I remember, y'all, what he said. So I went and got my hair freshly done. And back then, got to take a note. I got myself together. So either way, he was like, yeah, he gonna pull up or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So he was like, when I got there, whatever, Friday, he was talking about, oh, you went and got your little hair done, honey. You trying to look good. You already cute. Now look at you. Ooh, I see you, sis. So all of a sudden, I was sis then. Okay, I was like, okay. I became sis real quick. He said, I told you part of the family. And so I really liked him. Like, as far as like Man, because Man was just a cool vibe. He always was singing. He always had a nice joke. He just was and he always smelled good. But he just was a good vibe. Like, you ever meet somebody that got that good vibe and that charisma about them, and you be like, oh yeah, he a vibe for real. And so I was like, well, if maybe his cousin just like him. So y'all, his cousin actually come in. He was like, there go my cousin right there. So when his cousin come in, his cousin 6'3". Now, he was tall, y'all. Y'all gotta think, I'm 5'3" now, and that's short. But back then, I was 4'11". I'm talking about 5'11". I was 4'11". I was a shorty. Like, I was shorty. I was okay? I was real short. And so when he came to the counter, I'm looking at him, he looking at me, and we just both smiling like alley cats, like, because I'm so happy. You know how if somebody hook you up, right? You thinking like, oh, they gonna be ugly when you see them in person. But then when you go look at the dude, you like, boy, kind of fine, okay? But kind of fine. So he light skinned. He got like chinky eyes. He's giving really like Chinese and black mixed together, if you can imagine that. But he's black. His mama is black and his daddy is light skinned. His mama is really dark skinned, like really, really dark skinned, which is right. When you're home, your body trying to turn against you. Okay. Either way, I was not expecting for homeboy to actually be fine. I was not, you know what I'm saying? I just was expecting for maybe he looked good like while he was in the picture, because in the picture he just kind of had a little smirk on his face, but he wasn't smiling. So I expect for him to come in there with 2 teeth in his mouth and stank. I just expected that he was just not gonna be that, okay? So when he came in, we both smiled at each other, and he just walked in real smooth, like, and he was like, hey, your name Barbie? And I'm like, yeah, I'm her. You know what I'm saying? And anytime I like a dude, y'all, I change my voice. I don't know if y'all do it, but I do it. Like, if I really like you, I'm finna be from the city. I know I'm deep country, but I'm finna be from the city, okay? I don't know why it happens. Anytime I see somebody fine, they be like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm fine. What's up with you?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, "Hey, what's up with you?" Like, I don't know why it happens. It just happens. And then after you get with me, you be like, "Wait a minute, what happened to the city girl?" You is real country. What happened to that? You used to have a little swag thing. Mental health. Anyway, so I don't know why it just happened. And a lot of girls do it, but they have like lighter voices and everything. I got that Tony Braxton, so it ain't light. And it probably sound real deep now because I'm sick. So either way, the young man, we smile at each other and he's in a line. So let's say if there's 5 people in the line and I'm taking orders, but y'all, I'm being so extra with these orders because this man is fine and I want him to see me smile. I want him to see me play with my hair a little bit. I want him to see me do something with my eyelid. Like, I ain't doing the most, okay? And people, my regulars are in front of him. So, they really love me. So they making me look good. And they like, "Hey, pretty girl, how you doing? What? I can't believe you here on a Friday night. You ain't going to no game." I'm like, "No, I'm going to go to the game next week." And so I used to sometimes take off so I can go to the game. And I would see my regulars sometimes like, "No, not tonight. I got to put in that work for that money tonight." And I'm sitting there just talking to my regulars, whatever. But I keep glancing at him like, but yeah, and I'm playing eyes with him, okay? And he just just as hard as he can smile. And so I look at the vat and on the biscuit table, and you can tell his cousins like, chill, like trying to tell him like, chill out, bro, relax your face, like, bro, you gonna scare, because he never stopped smiling. He was just like, I don't know what it was. Now, afterwards we talked about it, but right then I was like, bro, face gonna break. He smiled a little bit too hard. So then when he got to the rest or whatever, and I was like, "Hey, your name's Scooter and whatever. Is your name Scooter? Your cousin told me, you know what I'm saying, he had somebody for me." I said, "But don't think I put him up to that." He was like, "Oh, I know." He was like, I know he ain't put you up to nothing." He told me some, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Why are you single?" I was like, "I don't know. Maybe I was waiting for you." Corny, I know, but that's what I said. He was like, "Oh, okay." So he was like, I was so shy. Like, I did not know what to say to you because he done showed me your pictures or whatever. And I was like, "Where y'all get some pictures from me?" Because the man, he asked me to send some pictures. So I only seen him like 2 pictures. And he asked me for a body picture. And, back in the day, I wasn't really taking the body. Because y'all know that I don't really show my body like that. And I won't take body pictures like that. Because I was a teenager. Like, some people probably like, you take body pictures and stuff. I was doing stuff like that, like the teenagers do now in the pictures, you know what I'm saying? From the breast up or something like that. But I would get cute and every now, if you saw me in the body picture, because I was in a picture with somebody else. Like, I was with my cousins and them. So he was going through my page and he was finding pictures. I would tag him. And that's how he knew what I looked like my full body. So either way, he was like, "You are cute." You know what I'm saying? You was cute. And I was like, "Well, no, you fine." You, Mr. Third, you real fine. Like, I was like, "Well, if you cute," he was like, "Well, you cute." I'm like, "You fine." And so now it's customers coming behind him and we just sitting here just laughing, giggling and everything. And you can hear the man behind him like, I said, "Oh, but what you want though? Because, I got a line. What do you want?" And he was like, "I want a Supreme dinner and everything." And anytime our family members come in there, for the most part, we'll bring them up for something, but really it be something that is low. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring them up for something. Like, let's say and a lot of people did it. I wasn't the only one. Might ring him up for a kid Supreme and then he get a lot of Supremes, okay? But he paid for something, okay? And so that's what we were doing. And even the managers did it, so don't judge me. I was a kid. I did what they did, okay? Either way, I ain't gonna say it was right, but that's just how they did, okay? They paid for something. But anyway, so I packed his food and everything. Y'all, again, my line was getting longer. My line went for 3 people behind him. And then cause the girl that was supposed to help me, because with me and another girl, there was a packer and I was taking the orders, but the packer had went on break, so I had to take the order, fix the order, go to the next person, take the order, fix the order, and I had a person that was at the end putting the fries in the bag and putting the drinks, making all the drinks. So I really was by myself for real, but not really, because they was doing that, but that person was new, so they didn't know how to make the orders. They only knew how to make the drinks. So either way, they were putting the fries in the bag and they would make the drinks. So after that, I told him to wait, and when I clear out my line, I'll go out there and talk to him or whatever. And so after I cleared out my line, it was like 15 people in the line, y'all, because we doing all this long talking. And so it was 3 people blowing in the line, but I didn't care. I was in real love. I'm searching for a real love. When I saw that man, butterflies, I done planned our whole wedding. We were going to have 3 kids, like, I was delusional, okay? I was so happy to see that man. That man was happy to see me. So I just told him kind of wait in the dining hall, and I was going to come up there because I knew I was coming up on my break. And so then my manager came out there and was like, you can go on your break or whatever. And our break was like 30 minutes or whatever. So went out there on my break or whatever, and we went outside, and he was just talking to me. And we was talking, and he was saying his name was Scooter, and I was like, well, it's nice to meet you, even though I knew it. And he was like, how old he was. He told me he was a senior, and I was in the 11th grade when I met him. I was in 11th grade, but I was at the end of my term. So I was like, I'm in the 11th grade. He was like, okay. And then he was like, well, what's your phone number? Because I know man had your phone number, but I wanted you to give it to me. I ain't just want to call you out the blue. And I was like, okay. Well, I gave him my phone number, whatever. He was like, I got you locked in. He was like, you gonna answer the phone? I was like, yeah. I was like, when you gonna call me? He was like, I'll call you whenever. When you want me to call you? I was like, I prefer you to text me first to make sure I ain't busy. He was like, I got you. Woo, baby, this code trying to take me down like Chris Brown. But anyway, getting back to it, we chatting it up or whatever. And so then my break is over with, and he was like, well, I'm gonna text you whatever and stuff like that when you get off. And I was like, do that. And so y'all, I remember clocking out, and we finished up at like 9:15 at night. But I remember clocking out, and we couldn't be on our phone, so my manager didn't play that, and I ain't play with her, honey. I was not on my phone. She said, don't be on your phone. I was not a person that challenged no authority. If I was gonna check my phone, I would go to the bathroom, but we were so busy I couldn't go because I was the only one up there. So as soon as I clocked out, I ran to my phone to me see, because my phone was in my coat pocket, so in the bag. So I went to my phone. He done text me 4 times, y'all. He was like, it was nice meeting you. You were so pretty. You smell so good. He asked me what that was I had on. I told him it was a body oil called Lick Me All Over. He was like, And I was like, what that mean? He told me something, nothing. He was like, nothing. And then he put some laughing emojis, and I was like, oh, I was just telling you what the old one said. He said, I thought you was asking me. I was like, nah, I won't ask him. So we laughed about it. And like I said, we kept it real innocent for a while, and that's just how it was. He would come up there. He would, because we went to 2 different schools or whatever. And so we would talk all the time, y'all. We would talk all the time. I'm talking about, he was the type of person. I don't know if you got that friend, but me and my sister like that, where you just be on the phone and y'all don't even have to be saying nothing. Y'all can listen to each other breathe. This man will call me as soon as I get out of school. This man will call me, and I will stay on the phone until I had to go to bed, y'all. This man will call me, like, if I won't at work, I was on the phone with this man, okay? And he will call me, how was your day? What you been up to? And he'll be talking to the people in his background. I'll be talking to the people in my background. And then before you know it, our people in the background had got to know each other. Like, that's how long we were on the phone. We was on the phone. You could look at the call log say 7 hours and 52 minutes. Like, we were on the phone, and we were known for it. Like, dang, Scooter is always on the phone with his girl, like, dang, tell her bye. And by then everybody, because they hung, it was like a group of boys that had that, and they were involved in a car club. So I don't know if you ever dated somebody in a car club, but it's a whole bunch of them jokers in one club. So you got over 80 people in one club, and so they would have their little different events. Now, My mama won't let me go everywhere. So if I went anywhere, I had to sneak to go. And so he would invite me to different places, but I didn't want to tell him, sir, I ain't supposed to be dating you. Is a secret, okay? My mama ain't, till this day, my mama and daddy ain't gave me permission to date, and I done had 2 kids, baby. Okay, and I told my daddy the other day, Daddy, when would you gonna give us permission? He said, when I died. That was my permission. It was in my will. Like, that ain't nobody give you no permission to date nobody. You didn't need to date nobody. You ain't need to date nobody, but I wasn't supposed to be dating nobody. My mama didn't agree with teenage dating because, pregnancy and all that stuff like that. She said we need to focus on our books, and we did. But I don't think they was against it the older we got. I just think that was a subject they did not want to touch on, okay? They knew we like boys. They weren't stupid. But either way, they wanted us to focus on our schoolwork and not no dude work. You feel me? Either way, so like we were known, like if he on the phone, like daggone he on the phone, and then he'll be on social media, and he one of them people that get a girlfriend. He talk about her on social media. He gonna talk about her around his dudes. He's gonna always bring his girlfriend up. He's a real lover boy, so he was just talking about me with everybody. Even when we was on phone, like he'll be on social media. I can't wait till my girl get off because I couldn't talk to him all night. But I would be on the phone until I go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom was strict about that. She didn't want us on the phone. But we would text all night. We couldn't be on the phone, but we would text. Sometimes my mom would forget to take my phone because my mom used to take my phone at night. And sometimes she'll forget. And so we just would, because I couldn't get caught dead on that phone, okay? But I would text or whatever. But we would have the innocent conversation. It was nothing. He was not a nasty boy, you know what I'm saying? And I say a nasty boy because a lot of boys you get with, you know what I'm saying, around that age, they talk about, what I want to do with. No, we were talking about regular stuff, what we did in school, who we getting our nerves, what's going on, when we going to the game, what you gonna wear to the game. Like, he really was my best friend, like, to tell the truth. Like, if I'm being honest, dude was like my best friend, okay? Because we were talking about everything. If you talk to somebody every day and your phone call say 7 hours or 28 minutes and y'all doing this every day, it becomes a habit, and it also becomes like you really get to know that person, like everything they like, don't like, what they eating. We talking about what we eating. We would sit there and eat, and what you got on your plate, what your mama cook you, and I'm knowing everything. I know about the issues that's going on in the household. He know about the issues that's going on in my household because he's on the phone. I'd be like, shh, my daddy come in the room, my mama come in the room, somebody come in the room, shh. He done heard me, you need to get in there and do this and that. Anytime they were fussing at me about something, and I'd be like, look, I gotta go, mama. I know I heard her tripping, you know what I'm saying? So we'll get off the phone or whatever. But for the most part, like, we really knew each other. And so I think that he was shy to ask about anything sexual, but I think that it had came to the point in our relationship where people was kind of talking to him, like egging him on or whatever, because I remember going to work and I remember having a conversation with Man, and Man was like, well, daggone, y'all done been together about 8 months. When you gonna get my bus a butt? Like, when you gonna let him meow? When you gonna let him scratch that meow? Like, he get on the phone talk cute to you, but we be pressing him like, bro, you ain't asking for nothing. Y'all ain't, all I see is y'all kiss when y'all around and holding hands. I was like, we really in love. This is real love. So you don't know about that because all you want is the meow. He was like, but that's a man. He gonna want something after a while. I said, did he say something to you? Like, did he tell you something? Because he ain't never said nothing crazy to me like that. He was like, well, a man gonna want something after a while. I said, so he be talking to y'all like that? He was like, no, every time we say something about it, he giggle like you. Y'all, every time we talk about giving out something, y'all both so giggly. And we was, though, because we be we be on the phone, he homeboy be in the bed. Man, that boy be on the phone. Barbie, give my boy some meow. He needs some of that. He needs some of that in his life. Okay, give him some of that meow. He's been a good boy. He deserve it. Okay, and the boys used to crack on him all the time. They were like, "Girl, we be like," they be on the phone like, "Girl, we be out such and such," and these girls will come in there and he'll tell them, "Look, I got a girlfriend." And then he'll just show them the phone. This is my girlfriend. They be like, oh, she's pretty. Or there's somebody. Or say, you know, it's always a hating one. Oh, she ugly. I look better than her. Bet you ain't her. Like, he one of them. He finna tell you all I got a girlfriend, okay? He said, I don't care what she look like. She can be the baddest. He said, and don't get me wrong, Barbie, you pretty. But it been some bad girls come up to this man. And we be like, she ain't here. And I'm like, y'all just telling on yourself. It was like, because we just like, y'all not married. This man acting like y'all got married on December the 1st. Like, y'all been together for about like 8 months, but dog, you know what I'm saying? He acting real married. Like, I was like, yeah. And so my head ain't got bigger because I'm like, oh, he loved me. He be faithful to me. But y'all can't be trusting them homeboys, because them homeboys just be trying to help their boy out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they be lying, but in this case they won't. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a dude that I used to know that hung with them in that bike club, and he was telling me the same thing. And so different people telling me like, what you do to that boy? Why that? I said, I ain't did none of that boy. We just be having a good time on the phone, laughing and giggling and laughing. And he be telling me all his business. I be telling him all mine. That's all I did to him. And then when we get around, we had a relationship where anytime I was around him, I sat in his lap the whole time. And I remember when I used to sit in his lap, that thing was thumping, you know what I'm saying? He had a pulse to it or something. I remember it used to vibrate under me, and I used to be like, okay, he's in heat. That's what my daddy was talking about. When he was like, a boy is in heat, that young man was in heat. And I remember he would do that, and then, we just would laugh about it. Like old school girls, like, I sit down, he was like, I'm sorry. Then he'll readjust himself. He was a gentleman. He'll readjust himself. He was like, I can't help it. I just like you, and I'm sorry. My body just reacts like that. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, we were just like two shy people. And he had told me he had done something before, and I had done something before, but I told him I ain't had no good experience. So he always told me that whenever we do it, you know what I'm saying, he wanted to be special. So we never press it. And anytime we were around each other, it was a whole bunch of dudes. You know what I'm saying? It'd be my like 3-4 friends and a whole bunch of dudes. So it won't never a time where we could just, I guess, be in our head, because we used to talk about being romantic and all that stuff. Like, y'all, we were kiddie. We were 16, thought we were in love for real. You hear me? You couldn't tell me wrong. That was like, maybe you ain't mad, okay? But anyway, and so it came time where I kind of felt sorry for him, because I'm like, he's out here being faithful to me, and I wanted to please him. I wanted to please him, because every time I was around him, I felt a little stuff in the thumb, because every time I was around him, if we won't kiss him, we were holding hands. We weren't holding hands. I was in his lap. If I was in his lap, he was holding me from behind. We was always doing the cutesy stuff together, okay? We was always doing the cutesy stuff together. And so I told him one day when we all out, he came, we went to a park, right? And I told him in his ear while he around all his little friends, I want to fuck. That's what I told him, right? And so I walked off like from where they up. Now, I didn't want to. I just wanted to see what I was willing to participate, but I wanted to see what he was going to do, because he was so shy acting, y'all. And I'm like, this is an act. He probably be like, y'all, I'm tired of acting like that. And I felt like in my head, eventually he going to be like, look, I'm sick of this not acting innocent. Girl, I'm ready to whack that eye, whack that, whack that eye, whack that eye, whack that eye. I didn't know how he was thinking, because I really thought in my brain he was like one way with me and one way with them. But that wasn't the case. He really liked me, so he never pressed me. And because I had a bad experience when I did it with my first one. And so he was like, whenever you ready, and we gonna get it. That's how he would just handle the situation. He was like, I ain't pressed on it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't pressed on it, but whenever you ready to do it, I will participate, okay? So that was his attitude towards it. So when I told him that, he looked at me like, when he first met me, like, they were like, what she say? What she say, Scooter? What she say in your ear? What she say? I was like, y'all are so nosy. I was like, but come get it though. Come get it. They going crazy. You know how boys act when they think they boy about to get something. They so child. Oh, everybody walking around and clapping each other here. What y'all finna do? What y'all finna do? Ooh. And I told her, come on. We was in a park. And so I remember walking off. And it was like in this part, it was like some bench tables, but it was a far off where nobody be able to see what we was doing. And it was like, I can't describe it. Like, it was like 3 partially. So, like if you go to a park, it got them tables or whatever. It has tables and you can sit down in it. So it was like some tables, and I was like, come put me on the table. Come put me on the table and do whatever it is that you want to do. Me when you talk to your boys, do whatever it is that you talk to your boys about what you gonna do when you get hold of me. He said, we don't have the time for all that. We don't we don't have the time for everything I want to talk. So this was a side that I had never seen to him. You know what I'm saying? That line that was in. He acted like a little alley cat. He was so smitten in love and such a gentleman. But when I tempted that beast, it came out. He was just, baby, this flirting was intense. Okay? And I was hot. You don't have the time. So what you finna do? I want to be your sign project. So either way, he picked me up. And like I told you, I'm 4'11", he's 6'3". So I got picked up from the ground up in the skies, enjoying every minute. And then he placed me upon the top of the table, okay? And laid me down like Chris Brown, okay? And then he began to feast on me. And I laid back and say, my God, please forgive me. I know I ain't supposed to say, but Lord Jesus, why is this man doing this to me? Okay? And I just want to paint the picture. It is dark outside, pitch black outside. Okay, we outside. This where we go. We go chill at the park sometimes, and you know, like I said, we are far off. We can't even hear what they talking about. Okay, we can't hear what they saying. We can't see nobody. It's dark. They're way off. You know what I'm saying? They're way off from us. Okay, and so I'm just wow. Okay, because I ain't even know you can do all that, Mr. Sir. And then he was like, "Put your clothes back on." Put my clothes back on when I had reached the point of no return and my legs were shaking and my body was twitching and my eyes was rumbling. He said, put your clothes back on. I said, why? He said, because you a lady and I ain't gonna treat you like no hoe. When I make love to you, it's gonna be special. Okay. So then I really want to do it then. Well, I didn't care what that man was doing. I ripped his belt off and then I stuck him in me. Yeah. I can't do it. And then before you know it, it was and then it was over. Okay. And that's how it went. That was the first time. It was just too sexy. I could not let him walk away. He was just too sexy to me. Okay. So that's, yeah. And so then he was like, I told you I wanted to be special. After he did what he did, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I wanted to be special. And it's very special. You would never forget that, okay? So either way, we put ourselves together and we tried to put ourselves together, you know, make ourselves look like ain't nothing happened. But people are not stupid. We've been gone for a minute, y'all. We probably done been gone for 45 minutes, okay? We've been gone, okay? If not longer than that, we've been gone, okay? Ain't nobody come check for us or nothing. We've been gone. So when we walk back, everybody looking at us. And I'm like looking at them. And they was like, what y'all do out there? I said, nothing. We just went talking or whatever. And then he was like, yeah, we talk. We talked, okay. He told us, yeah, everybody started running. Ooh, they talk. Did y'all have a long conversation or was it short? Tell us about this conversation. I'm like, y'all childish. Take me home, whatever. So they take me home because they picked me up for work. And I got off work early or whatever. But anyway, they took me home or whatever. And then I was like really going in my mind. Because I don't know if other girls did this. But when I was younger like that, I was so worried about what would happen after her. Was this boy just playing this role so he can get what he want out of me? Or do he really like me? Is he really this sweetheart? Or is now when I come to work, man gonna be dragging me like, oh, she a popcorn hoe. Anything can happen. And teenager, I would say to this, that's very dangerous what I did. Because check this out. What if that man, it was about 15 dudes and everybody came in different cars, but in our car, it was just me. I'm the only female out there now, okay? Now, it was a few females when we first pulled up to the park. It was like maybe 6 females that pulled up and then they had left already, okay? So before we walked off by ourselves, they were already about to leave. I walk off him. What if all them 15 to say, hey, I want some too? So teenagers, don't do stuff like that, okay? I'm gonna tell these story times, but I know I got babies that watch me too, and I don't want y'all to get so captivated in the story that y'all forget to be safe. Be safe, okay? And don't make stupid decisions because I lived in a different time. I'm 36 years old. The world was a lot different when I was little, but predators, is born every day. Okay, they're around every day. Anything can happen. Man could have been a predator. His friends and his cousin could have been a predator, and everybody could have gang raped me. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the situation. He really liked me. But what if he didn't like me? What if he played a game and then all of them go, and this wouldn't be no story that I would have told. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, be safe. I just want to make that disclaimer. Be safe in your movements and your action and everything. And really, to be honest, you need to save yourself for your men. Okay? But if you don't, be safe. Make good decisions. Think about the what if before you do anything. Anyway, jumping back in the story. So we did what we did. I get dropped off home. I'm at the house feeling good, feeling bubbly, but also worried about what's going to happen at work. Like, when I come to work tomorrow, he going to tell everybody my business, because they not stupid. And I knew they knew, but I didn't care because, like you guys say, for 8 months, I have been in this relationship with all these dudes. They always in the background, so I know everybody business. I know who got a baby mama, who ain't no good. I know all these men business. I know even when he would go around them and their mother be in the background cussing them out because they room dirty. Like, I know all these people business, but I'm still like, kind of like in my head thinking like, dang, they gonna really like tell all my business and be like, I'm a popcorn hoe, even though I had sex with my man. But either way, I didn't know what this was, so I was just like really kind of freaking out thinking about in my head. So I didn't have to go to work the next day. I went to school, got off school bus, and nothing changed. Before I got up, he had sent me 15 text messages, y'all. Like 15. Good morning, beautiful. I hope you have an amazing day. I can't wait for us to see each other again. And he was like, I don't want to do nothing else until we plan something special. So, and he was like, I really care about you. I don't want you to think. Like, he was he was having the same thoughts as me. And so he was just telling me all this stuff. And I was like, oh, so this boy like me for real. Okay. So he just going through all these, like, it seemed like that he went through all these emotions and stuff like that. Oh, I don't know what he went through, but he had said all this stuff, like 15 different text messages. It was all like, I ain't gonna treat you no different. You my girl. But basically it was like, you're my girl now. Thought I was your girl before. I guess he like, you done gave me that meow, so you really belong to me. It's over. No dude, do not look at. So it was like, he was saying like, you my girl now. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I got your back no matter what. If you need anything, just let me know. It was just like, it opened a different level to him or something, because it was like, it went from being like, maybe he might send a good morning, and then he might send me a text message like, wait, like when you wake up, shoot me a text. No, every morning, every afternoon, and midnight, I would wake up to 15 text messages, and there'll be a lot of questions, and how are you feeling today? And I'm thinking like, yeah, the meow has changed something. Okay. So either way, I go back to work the next day. Not the next day, but the day after that. And I'm dreading it, y'all. It's a Friday. And I'm like, I know I work with man, because I done checked the schedule. And I'm thinking like, I hope he don't be in here. Like, yeah, she a popcorn hoe. She done went out there and busted open for my cousin on the peptide table. Like, I come in, hear the same singing. But he's singing a different song. It ain't worth being alone. It ain't worth being alone. That's why I'm right here begging, baby, please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go. Please. That's the Tank song, okay? Oh. And he back there singing that, and I couldn't understand how that got something to do with what we had going on. But he was just singing, y'all. But I was thinking, in my brain, I'm taking everything like, Lord have mercy, what that song mean? Okay, what that mean? What that mean? That code for something? And I'm thinking the worst. So when he see me, he said, yes, sir, what's up? How you doing? I knew it. He said, I knew it. Come here. And I was like, he said, I knew when I saw you. He said, listen, I ain't never wrong with these feelings in it. I knew you was a freak. You try to act all night. When you got a man, you got a... Oh, okay. He said, let me tell you about your boy. He said, let me tell you about your boy. He said, when your break is. And I told him when my break was. I looked on paperwork. He was like, I'm going to come with you on your break, because the biscuit man can take a break whenever. So when my break came, he was like, girl, come outside. So we come outside. He was like, let me tell you about your boy. He said, man, when you got out the car, man, he said everybody was kidding. I'm like, bro, did you get some, bro? Did you get some, bro? Did you get some? He told me, hell yeah. He said, I'm in love. I said, not in love. He said, I'm in love. He said, I ain't never felt like this before. He said, I have never felt like this before. I'm in love, man. I'm gone. They said, you were gone before. Not, no, this is for real. Like, this is love, okay? He's like, what did you do to my brother out there? Because he was really his cousin. He was his first cousin. He was like, what you do to my brother? But they were real tight. So he said, what you do to my brother out there? I said, what are you talking about? Ain't nobody did that to him. He was like, okay. I said, what he tell y'all? He was like, man, he was all respectful with it, but when he talked to me about it, but he wouldn't talk to them about it. He was like, man, he got real serious and man, don't be asking stuff about my girl. Don't be asking them. No, we straight. Just know, we did what couples do. Like, he kept it real straight. They was like, oh, look at him acting all crazy like that. So he was like, yeah, but he told me, yeah. It was worth it. It was worth waiting every minute for. Oh my God. Okay. He said, yeah. He said that's all he kept saying. I'm like, what are you talking about? He ain't just. I said, I think he described it just right. He said, all right. He told me so, but you know what I'm saying? Don't be playing with my bro feelings or whatever. If you don't really like him, because he really a lover boy. Like, he basically told me, like, he really a lover boy. He ain't finna be cheating on you. Like, he really, like, be locked in. And so we were locked in, and y'all, honey, we did it everywhere. You can do it anywhere on the counter. And see, he would say he wanted to be special and everywhere. I didn't care about not being special. It was special because it was with you. So any opportunity I got, I was going to say violate his or rip his bottom half off, but I just feel like that's a little bit much. You know what I'm saying? Any opportunity, I don't care where we was at, any opportunity, we did that, okay? Everywhere, okay? I remember one time we did it on the top of a car in the rain, baby. I wasn't playing, honey. I was not playing. Come do what you did to me last time, okay? Come do what you did to me last time, okay? We could be at somebody's house. I'd be like, do they got a bathroom, okay? Because I need that. Yeah, I need that, okay? And we was doing it everywhere. Back seats of a car. Teenagers is wild. We would just... Anywhere, okay? Anywhere. Anytime we was around each other, we're doing it, okay? We're doing it. Doing it and doing it and doing it again. I'm doing it and doing it and doing it again. Ooh, she wanna ooh, she baby. I really wanna touch the body. Yeah, I was on him real bad. He was on me bad turn, okay? But anyway, our relationship was very good, but it was like, after a while, you know what I'm saying? You can have so much fun. And this went on for a course of 4 years. And you can have so much fun. And we were just, whatever thing that we fantasized about, we did it together. You know what I'm saying? We still talked on the phone. It was great. Everything was good. I think the greatest moment about our relationship is that because he was so fine, y'all. He was so fine. Let me describe him. Tall, I think I did. Tall, light skin with the chinky eyes. His mama had chinky eyes, but she was dark skinned, and his daddy was light skinned, so they mixed it together, and so he looked like Chinese and black. But he was just so fine to me, y'all. Period. Okay. And so he was 6'3". I already described it, and he had cornrows, but the cornrows was like coming mid right here, but when he take that out, his hair was crinkly. And so he was just so fine to me, okay? And so I remember getting my planner, and everybody had a planner back then where they kept their everything in. I remember taking pictures with him and getting them printed out and put them all over my planner. Honey, I was so in love, I didn't care if my mama seen that planner or not. She saw that planner, that was my man. If you have any questions, he belongs to me, okay? So either way, I was smitten. I was going, okay? Okay? And so year after that year, another year came around, and I was in the 12th grade, and everything was good. Like, everything was good. Then I got out of school, and so people started talking to me. They was in my year. They was just telling me, now this is the third year. Okay, so they're telling me, hey, you going to school now, you might not want no boyfriend, because if you have a boyfriend, then you ain't gonna be able to, basically deal with other dudes. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to college all in love and all that stuff like that. And I had got to the point where, I loved him. He was my man, but I was not attracted to the way he got money. Like, he literally stayed home and his mama gave him money. He didn't work no job after he graduated from high school. He just wasn't doing nothing. He was just always at home waiting to talk to me on the phone. Like, I'm living life. I'm working a job. One time I'm working 2 jobs for the summertime trying to get that bread up, okay? And he always just a phone call away. And my thing is like this. I was raised by a man that made it happen. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too much no, in my house. If you had good grades and you were doing what you're supposed to, he gonna get that bread for whatever you asked for. And so me dealing with somebody that just got an allowance, it was annoying to me. And then he will go from having a car and not having a car. And I didn't like that. Be on your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Get you a job. Why are you sitting at home waiting to get an allowance for your mama? And that used to make me feel, and I ain't talking about she giving him a little bit. She used to give him some money. She used to get every time he got his allowance, he got $1,000. And that was like every other week. Why did he need $1,000 and he ain't doing nothing with his life? And so she had a girl and a boy, and like, I'm not saying she probably did it for both of them, and I don't know what she worked at, but that's how he did. Like, she didn't want him in the street. She did, you know what I'm saying? She didn't want him to feed. That was her child. That was her baby. So, I can't tell nobody how to do that, baby. But to me, I just told him, like, I want a man that got himself together, not living home with mama. You are the age, like, you done graduated from school. I'm in the 12th grade, about to graduate. And I'm about to go to college. You ain't got no own place. Like, you don't got nothing that, okay, I'm trying to move out my mama's house. Won't you go ahead and get everything set up? Then I come in and then we can share these bills together. But he wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to live with mama because, I mean, why not? If mama gonna give you $1,000 every 2 weeks, you gonna blow it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get it back again. Why not, baby? Not me telling him now gave hate, but at the same time, I just wanted him to be a man. I felt like he was not a man. And I was not attracted to somebody that didn't work hard for their money. I just want to attract. He didn't do nothing for me. You sitting on waiting for your mama check to clear. And I just felt bad. You know what I'm saying? Because every time she got paid, this man bought me lavish gifts and all this stuff. So you basically just taking your allowance to, you know what I'm saying? You taking your mama money that she worked hard for just to throw it all on me because you don't need anything. You get this money every 2 weeks. So you don't need anything. But it just was a lot to me. Lord, I gotta blow my nose. And y'all, I ain't even been looking at y'all the whole video. I just noticed that I'm just talking. So I'm sorry. I'm off in the corner just talking. Sorry. I got a cold. I don't look at y'all for real. I love you. But I'm like, if I look at y'all, my nose gonna drill. So every time I gotta stop, I'm sorry, I got a cold, but I'm committed. So either way, I'm committed to this story. So yeah, it was just something about the vibe of him, and I should have been grateful, thankful. I know people gonna say that, but at the same time, I wanted a man. I was shown a man was supposed to present himself one way, take care of his family, take care of his stuff. You my boyfriend, but you can't do nothing without your mama, and I don't like that. So I basically told him, look, when I broke up with him, look, I don't want to be with you anymore. You were cool. We had our good times, but I'm about to elevate in life, and I really don't need to be distracted by anybody. I really gonna need this time to focus on my books. So I broke up with him. He was devastated. He was online writing all these sad things. She left me, y'all, and like he about to die, y'all. She left me. He on Facebook like she left me, and I ain't do nothing but be a good man to her. And people feel some type of way, like, y'all been together forever, like, why? And people just could not understand. Like, I wanted a man, and you were acting like a little boy, and so I broke up with him. But I really I was tired of it. Like, get yourself together, go get an apartment, go get a car, and so we were broke up. When we broke up, y'all, he was devastated, but he did exactly what I told him to do. Like, literally took him a year and a half, but he went, got a job. He went, got him an apartment. He went, got a car. He went, got everything, and he tried his hardest to get back to me. But I'm into college. I had moved on and went to college. So y'all, I won't study him or nobody else from my past. I literally was, look, when I came in to college, them boys treat me like I was Beyonce. You hear me? Every time I walk through, ooh, who that? Oh my God, look at her, the one with the big head. And everywhere you go, hey mom, I was like getting that attention. I was having fun. I was going to parties. I was having fun, and I didn't have time to be on the phone sitting with him, because that's all it was. The same thing from high school, like when he wanted to sit on the phone all day. But if I'm at a party, I can't be on the phone with you, because all you gonna hear is all these people trying to get at me. I'm going to pool parties. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. And if I'm not at party, I'm at work. If I'm not at work, you know what I'm saying? I really got to study so I could stay in school. So it was a lot going on. And I felt like my life was shifting and he was not shifting with me. You know what I'm saying? So either way, I cut ties with him. And we still talked off and on, but I went my other way. But he's gonna pop back up in the next story because I'm gonna tell y'all a story time with how he tried to play friends so he could get back to what we had. But anyway, love me some Schooler. To this day, y'all, he recently got married. This was like 3 years ago. He got married to my twin. Like literally, this woman looked just like me. She's just the skinny version of me. Like she looked like I look, because now I ain't humongous, but I'm thicker than I was when I was in high school and college. And so she looked like me when he dated me. And I thought when I saw them get together and get married, oh, so you went and married my twin. Hey, twin. Cute girl. Very, very beautiful. So I was like, damn, that gave a session. But I noticed recently, I wasn't in his business or nothing like that, but I kind of was. I noticed recently that he unconnected that page. And like I said, he was the type of husband, okay, that's going to constantly post you, constantly talk about you, constantly, and he was just giving his wife accolades, talking about how happy he was. They grinding, they brought this together, they had brought a house. Like, we were involved in a relationship because he posted everything. And so then all of a sudden I noticed, I'm looking, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm your friend, you know what I'm saying? I'm your friend on Facebook, right? So I noticed you just snatched your wife off your page. You ain't got the status married no more. And she ain't on none of your social media. Then all of a sudden, you on my TikTok liking every picture that I post of me or every video I put of myself. And I'm like, oh, you allowed to like now, because before you won't. So I'm like, what's going on? Then you post, because y'all, I'm just talking about, and this what made me do this story, because I thought about the time we shared. But then I was like, one day, because I tried to inbox him to ask him like what was going on, because you don't put us all in your business, so now I want to update. And he never inboxed me back. He inboxed me and I said, hey. He was like, hey stranger, how you been doing? I was like, I'm good or whatever. I was like, I don't mean to be in your business, but what happened to you and your wife? And that man never responded back. He never responded. He never said, I'd rather not. I think whatever happened, he is very hurt about it, because it's like he tried to erase her a whole entire existence. Like for 3.5 years, we ain't seen you posting your beautiful wife. So now she okay, so we gonna act like she didn't. And so he posts all the time. And there is a big difference between married him and not married him. And he's on social media just constantly posting about things he doing, him going working out. He just posted about getting a place. And I'm thinking, like, if you want to put everybody in your business, why not tell us the business? Okay. But I understand. Marriage is different. And if that girl was unfaithful to him, and it probably reminded him, she did the same thing you did, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't cheat on a young man. So I'm not saying she did. I don't know, but that's what it gave. Anybody just erase everything about that person, something happened. That's all I can tell you. Something happened. I just don't know what, but whatever it is, it's juicy. Because I'm talking about erased, gone, poof. She's on nothing he got, okay? Either way, I wanted to tell you he won't try to let me steal, okay? He thought I was in his inbox to say, hello, you gonna give me some of that? Meow. He answered so quick, y'all. When I inbox, say, hey, let me talk to you. He answered so quick, baby. When he said, I'm talking about that, oh, you ain't talking about nothing. He didn't say nothing back to me, baby. But he still be hard and stuff. But anyway, baby, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. But y'all got to stay tuned. I got a story coming up, and it's called, I'm gonna call it my college love affair. But I'm thinking about calling it breakup. So y'all got to stay tuned. I guess this is my college life. I'm gonna tell y'all stories back to back. So either way, that's the end of the story about he made me fall in love. I fell in love, and then I fell out of love, and then I skedaddle, and I moved on. And y'all, when you're young, you don't think about people's feelings and emotions. You just move off your feelings and emotions, and you can't do that when you're sharing body parts. Like, I will tell you that you can't do that. This man, in his head, he thought he was a good man. He really need me to really sit him down and be like, hey, I'm not happy. you need to do this and this and this. And I should have set him down and gave him the opportunity to do that instead of just be like, look, I don't want to be with you no more. I'm breaking up with you. Like, that was a lot. I would never do that now because I realize how bad that is. You know what I'm saying? And I would just communicate, hey, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. Let's work on this. And if I saw his actions won't match his mouth, like, I'm going to change, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, then I should have broke up. But I just feel like I did him wrong. And I feel like me inboxing him asking about his business, it kind of like that was a thorn in his side. And then that's another thorn. Nobody wants to talk about a failed marriage, and that wasn't my place to do. So if you watch it, I'm sorry, boo, for being all in your business, but man, the people want to know, and I'm trying to get them the information. I wasn't going to tell them about it. I was just going to tell my besties. Anyway, love y'all. Bye. Make sure y'all check the subscription. Make sure y'all shop with your girl on Diva Supply, and make sure y'all buy that book called Crying On. Cause baby, if you like my story times, it's a little story in that book, and y'all gonna want the tea on that one. It's juicy now, and you're gonna want to sip the tea. It's also an activity, like activities you have to do as well. It's a journey. It's not just reading a book and that's it. I read Barbie the book. No. If by the time you finish the book, if you actually take it serious and do the prompts and different things, it's really gonna be life changing. So if you got time, baby, order the book. It's called Crown On, okay? Anyway, I love y'all. Bye. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share for more story times and everything else I post. And y'all make sure y'all watching everything because I'm trying to get monetized. I want their money. So help me get it, okay? I got 2 boys. Come on, help me. Anyway, love y'all. See y'all on the next video. Bye, besties. Love y'all for watching.